Hey guys, we're back again for another video. This video is going to be a whole number division review. So we're fixing to work our way into decimal division, and we're going to start by reviewing our whole number division first. So there's going to be two problems that we're going to look at, and we're going to look at these problems with the box method, which is what we talked about in class pretty much in all of our math classes earlier in the year. So the first problem that we are going to start off with is 1,974 divided by 6. And if you guys remember correctly, the first number that's in the problem here is called the dividend. So it's going to be the number that goes inside of my house. And then we, of course, have our division sign here. And this 6 right here is called the divisor. If you think about it and remember, our answer to a division problem is called the quotient. So the quotient is going to be what we have, what sits on top of our division house, pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and start to draw my box. And my box is going to look like that. So I'm going to have to break my box up into 4 different boxes, so that way I have 4 boxes for each digit. So here's my box. I've got 1 box in each digit, so 1974 in each. And then what digit's going to go out here to the side? My divisor, the 6, is going to go out here to the side. There you go, just like that. So now the first thing when I'm dividing that I have to ask myself is how many times can 6 go into 1? So if I have one thing, can 6 go into that? Well, no, I can't make a group of 6. So I'm going to put a 0 up top here. Some of you guys may put an X or something like that. I just choose to put a 0. And then I have to multiply 0 times 6. So I'm going to draw my little multiplication sign right there just so I remember what I have to do. And I know that 0 times 6 is 0. Put my 0 down. The operation that I have to do between the 1 and the 0, that's subtraction. So 1 minus 0 I know is 1. I've got to take that 1 and move it up and over next to the 19. So now I can ask myself, how many times can 6 go into 19? Well, if I think about the factors of 6, 1 times 6 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24. Well, 24 is too big. It's a lot bigger than 19, and I can't do that. So I've got to bump it back 1, so 6 can go into 19 3 times. I put my 3 on top. 6 times 3 is 18. Again, I have to subtract. So 19 minus 18. Well, 19 minus 18 is 1. And again, I take that 1 up and over to the 17. How many times can 6 go into 17? So again, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. This time 18 is too big, so I've got to bump it back. So that one's going to be a 2. Put my 2 on top. I know that 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract, and I get 5 left that time. So again, my 5 has to go up and over to my 4. And now my last question that I have is 6. How many times can 6 go into 54? So let's think about this one. 6 can go into 54. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42, 6 times 8 is 48, 6 times 9, 6 times 9 is 54, so it can go in there 9 times. And I know that that's 54, so I can subtract. So my answer to that problem is 329. Now, if you look at my next problem that I have on there, it is 5,508 divided by 12. So this is a 4-digit by 2-digit. Again, I'm going to draw my box again. So I'm going to have a box with 4 places in it, 1 for each of my whole numbers and my 4-digit number. and then the number that's going to go on the outside of my problem. That number is going to be 12. So now I'm ready to divide. And the first question I have to ask myself is how many times can 12 go into 5? So 12 can go into 5. Well, if I have a group of 5 things, 5 stars, 5 bubbles, whatever. If I have a group of 5, can I make a group of 12? No, I can't. So again, that one's going to be 0 there. I'm going to go down and subtract and get 5 left over. So that 5 is going to need to come up and over. Now, my next question is how many times can 12 go into 55? Well, 12 is a big number, so I need to go through and think 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, then you've got 12 times 3, which is 36, 12 times 4, which is 48, 12 times 5 is 60. So 60 is way too big, so I've got to bump it back, and I've got to go with my 4. And I said that 4 times 12 is 48. So I'm going to subtract 55 minus 48. And I know I can't do 5 minus 8, so I have to borrow. That 5 changes to a 4, and the other 5 changes to a 15. 15 minus 8 is 7, and then I have to take that 7 up and over. So my next question is how many times can 12 go into 70? Well, I left off with 12 times 5 equaling 60. If I do 12 times 7, that's going to give me 72, which is too big. So I have to go with my 6. And we said that that is 60. So then I have 70 minus 60. And I know that 70 minus 60 is 10. And my 10 has to come over to my 8 this time. So you'll notice that on the last one, I get a 3-digit number there, 108. So how many times can 12 go into 108? Well, I left off with 7. 12 times 7 being, 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 is 72. 12 times 7, that's 84. 12 times 8 is 96. 12 times 9 is 108. So it should go in there 9 times. Because I know that 12 times 9 is 108. So my answer to that question would be 469. So again, this is just a quick review for dividing with 2 whole numbers. We're going to learn that dividing with decimals, we can do the same thing as the box way, which is what we've been taught before. Okay, so make sure that you ask if you have any questions.